It's just so weird.
It's the old turn 2 victory play right there, man.
Yeah.
I don't always win on turn 2, but when I do, it's against a druid. Paladin.
Yes.
This is going to be fun. Hey, then polymorphs. They are... I'm trying to decide if they're going to be useful early game against a paladin who may not have very good cards.
I might drop one.
You're probably safe in dropping both of them. You're going to want minions.
Alright, I'll drop 2. Oh, well...
This is actually really solid. We got a turn 2, turn 3, turn 4.
Yes, and then and then both my hammers just gonna hang out in my deck for a while.
That's all right.
For a while.
God, I'm in love with this card back, though, man. I might have to get the collector's edition just for the goddamn card back. It's so pretty. Look at it. It's so pretty.
Am I?
Nah, I'd say pass. You do the acidic on turn 2. Well, the other option that we have is wait until there's a possibility that he might play True Silver Champion on turn 4. But if he's starting off with Murlocs, I don't know if he's got great cards.
I think I'll still put down the Ooze.
Well, the Ooze dies for free to the 2/1. The Razorfen contests a little bit more strongly.
Oh, so you think maybe just hero the extra Murloc then?
Yeah, hero down the 2/1.
Or the 2/1.
Yeah, hero down the 2/1. That's probably stronger. And then we can hang on to the Acidic Swamp Ooze on the off chance that on turn 4 he's got that True Silver Champion. Because if we can kick that off of him, we're in good shape.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's hard to know though, man, on these early levels. You know what I mean? Not every Magma Rager. Yes, that's awesome. That's like the worst card in Hearthstone. You want to know why it's the worst card in Hearthstone? It's about to die to your hero power. At which point, also, I think you're probably safe in playing the Ooze as well, because if he's playing, I think if he's playing Magma Rager, we can take some liberties with like how fast and loose we play the deck. I really hope he's not about to play True Silver. Please don't play True Silver. Please, no True Silver one time. Just once. Just this time. Come on. You don't have it. You never had it. Yes! Okay, good. Now is definitely the time for a Tez Dingo.
This guy's awesome.
You could kill the 2/2 with the Swamp Ooze, but if you pass, you can kill the 2/2 with the Tazdingo next turn, assuming that he doesn't kill it on his... Like, he might run both of those into Tazdingo just to do damage to it and then not have a follow-through. So I would say
I'm
pass.
just gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna see if he's gonna let me keep my Ooze for one more turn here.
That's a good card. That's actually a really good card. That's... If you count up all the stats versus the mana, that's a 5 mana 6/6. Pretty solid. So how do we deal with that?
I could polymorph the 4/4, or...
Yeah, could polymorph the 4/4, or you could just try to like establish a bigger board by playing like Chillwind and then maybe Arcane Missiles and like maybe get lucky, or Yeah, you know what? Play Arcane Missiles, because if the Arcane Missiles hit the 4/4 at all, you can kill it with the 3/1, and that'll be really solid. Yeah, we did it! Now you can play the Shattered Sun onto the Tazdingo, and it won't die to the 2/2. At which point you can either go face or hit him on the dude if you want, whichever really floats your boat.
I'm gonna go face.
Yeah.
And end it. Because he's gonna have to come to me then, and he's gonna die.
Hey, there we go. Wow, he's really setting us up for a good Flame Strike turn.
Mm-hmm.
Killing the raid leader and the Murloc is probably the way to do it. You could kill the raid leader with your girl, kill the Murloc with your hero power, and then Chill Wind. Or you could Water Elemental. Water Elemental's probably stronger.
Alright, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I think I like the Water Elemental, because can that stop him from casting the 1/1 guys?
No.
No?
No, it only stops them from, like, if he equips a weapon, he can't swing with it. I'm surprised. That looks like a good polymorph.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then
probably
the Hunter.
Yeah, the Hunter. Yeah, that makes sense.
Polymorph. Boom. Hunter.
Right on.
And then I'm just, since I can flame strike at any time, I'm gonna use face on this, on the Water Elemental.
I like it. You're applying damage. You're planning ahead because you're getting the flame strike value potentially in an upcoming turn, and you're denying him his ability to use, you know, Coghammer or Light's Justice or True Silver Champion.
Right.
Pallies have a couple of weapons that can be kind of scary. Yeah, now we're cooking. Flame Strike will do 4, and then you're going to need 2 more. So the Razor Fen into the guy. You definitely want to kill the guy. Or you could Frostbolt and then kill him with the 3/2. That would be 6. That might be a stronger play.
I'm gonna Frostbolt.
Yeah. Or you could Frostbolt and kill him with the Razor Fen and the Pig, and then keep the 3/2 to freeze his face.
I want to freeze his face. So
Alright, yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna send. I'll send the Pig first, and the Hunter.
And now you still have 6 mana. Yeah, Boulder Fist. That's what I'm talking about. I love playing with the little laser in this.
Pay attention, class.
Wow, Teacher's a good card.
I'm ready.
Take out my Elemental.
It's alright, Elemental did some good work.
Yeah.
Elemental killed 2 minions and did 6 damage to face. That ain't bad. Can't ask for much more than that.
No.
Flame Strike hero power clears his board. Or you could play the Chill Wind and the Gnomish.
I wonder.
And kill the girl with the 6/5.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a minion party going here.
Yeah, man. Now it can oftentimes be ooh.
Ooh, and I've got one.
Play that after you kill the girl.
Yeah,
It can
so we don't.
oftentimes be better to play the card that draws you cards first, because the battle plan may change depending on what you draw.
Sure.
There it is. Give me them 2 damages. Perfect. I'm waiting for him to pull like the upset of the century, and he's got a Tyrion Fordring in there somewhere. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Glaive strike
Yes.
for the win.
Keep giving us minions.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome.
Awesome.
Oh,
Oh, look, he's all angry now. What with his emotes and his whatnots. Oh, yeah, he's so sorry. He's sorry. He didn't mean to play such a great play. Concede. Oh, see, man, he threw you the well played, actually. Now I feel bad for laughing at him.
Job's done. That was a mistake.
Tell me he's got something bananas. Voodoo Doctor, alright. You still have... I think you still have lethal on board, right? He's at 11 and you're at 13?
12.
13 with hero power.
Yeah.
Looks like game to me. So yeah, so the object of this deck is essentially it's a control deck. The whole point is to keep his side of the board basically clear so that you can have... Actually, it's more closely a mid-range deck, honestly, because it doesn't quite control, it doesn't dedicate all of its resources into controlling his side of the board. It's controlling his side of the board and playing good minions on curve is what the term is. When you play like a 2-mana minion on turn 2, a 4-mana minion on turn 4, that's considered playing on curve. In other words, using your mana efficiently each turn. That's kind of the whole goal of the mid-range deck, is to be efficient with its mana, to play higher value minions than the other guy, to sneak in spells once in a while to help clear the board, keep you on board advantage, card advantage, that sort of thing. And that's basically what this deck is. That's the whole goal of this deck. You could also build, if you were so inclined and had the cards, an aggressive deck, where the whole point is to just face damage, face damage, face damage, and just punch them hard in the head the whole time. Those decks run out of steam really quickly, but if you have enough damage in the early game, it doesn't matter. A lot of times you see hunters, they called face hunters,
Yeah.
playing a lot of
face hunters.
Yeah, playing a lot of aggressive decks. You know, they'll run things with a lot of charge, and they'll have weapons, and they'll have like all that stuff, and their just whole idea is just hit you in the face. And if you can outlast them somehow, if you can get into the late game where they haven't killed you yet, and they've run out of steam, and now your cards are like really starting to come into play, they may as well just concede because they have no way to proceed. A control deck puts all of its resources into making sure that your board is like clear and locked down, and like they have really efficient removal, and it's their end game that's really scary. You know, there's mage control decks, there's priest control decks, there's warrior control decks that are really, really good. Control warrior is really solid. But those are like the main 3 kinds of decks that you're going to see. You know, because like the whole thing when you're building a deck, you don't just want to throw whatever cards look good. You want to build the deck with a game plan. Like my objective here is to do this. Like, this is my battle plan. And that's like that's all like deck construction is trying to figure out what cards suit my battle plan the best. I made a joke earlier about Aggro Priest. The reason why Aggro Priest, excuse me. The reason why Aggro Priest isn't really a deck is because its hero power doesn't do anything to help the goal of being aggressive. You know, it doesn't have any cards that are priest cards that just scream this is aggro. It doesn't have you know, its hero power doesn't do any damage to the board. It just doesn't work as an archetype. Meanwhile, you know, there are such things as control hunters, but they're kind of few and far between because their removal spells aren't that great, except for the secrets, which are pretty good. But like, explosive shot kind of sucks because it doesn't do good damage in relation to its mana cost. It has a couple of good weapons, but you know, you take a lot of face damage and you don't have a way to recover if you're trying to use your weapons to control the board. So it's about synergizing what cards come with your class, what your hero power is, and what your game plan is, and that's like the way into deck construction. And then all of that basically gets thrown out of the window when you play Arena, because you don't have the options in many cases. And sometimes like you'll have 15 cards in your deck already, and you're looking at it and you're like, okay, this is starting to kind of look like kind of a more aggressive deck. So maybe I'll value aggressive cards more to try to build an aggressive deck. But most of the time, you know, you don't necessarily get the option of choosing your game plan ahead of time when you play Arena.
Right. Makes sense.
The other thing is, you should. Do you ever listen to like podcasts and stuff?
I do. I kind of fall into and out of doing it, to
Yeah, I
be
do
perfectly
too.
honest with you.
It's kind of how I listen. The Angry Chicken is a really solid Hearthstone podcast. They are, as far as I'm aware, they're like one of the longest running Hearthstone podcasts out there. They were definitely around in the very early parts of the game. They used to do very beginner stuff. Right now they're doing a lot of the old god stuff because that's what the new cards coming down the pike, that's basically all they're going to be talking about. But once old gods releases and once standard format releases, I guarantee you they're going to be talking about, you know, what kind of decks are going to be out there, what kind of new deck ideas people are coming up with the new cards, and the loss of the old cards. Like, all that information is going to be probably really, really solid once that sort of hits. So if you're looking for a resource, they're who I would recommend.
Well, now I'm gonna have to try and keep going on this till I can, because I really like this card pack actually.
Yeah, it's neat, right? Rank 20.
Yeah.
And then between where you are now and rank 20, like I said, you're not going to lose any stars if you lose a game. So it's one of those things where, I mean, all right,
Just
so
keep playing until you get to 20, and
the way I play if I'm trying to ladder up is I'll play a couple of games, and if I start losing, it's time to quit. Because the more you lose, the more frustrated you get, and the more frustrated you are, you're not thinking as clearly, and you're playing faster. And the goal is not to play faster, it's to play smarter. And those are
Right.
usually mutually exclusive. Like, it's seriously, they don't, like you'll play the first play that comes into mind, and then in the middle of his play you go, shit, you know what? I should have thought of this. And you could have, like, it's like a 90-second turn. Take the 90 seconds. It's yours. You can have it. Take the 90 seconds. Think about what the turn's going to be. Consider alternate turns. Think about, like, all right, if I attack into him, where does that leave my minion? Like, am I setting myself up to be hero powered to death and I didn't mean to? Like, you know, take all that into consideration and then do your play. And if you start to lose, instead of getting tilted and then continuing to play, switch to something else or like log off and do something different, because there's no sense in being upset and playing the game.
right. No, that makes sense. And you're not going to win every game.
No,
That's
definitely
just
not.
how this works.
This is absolutely one of those games that's not going to happen. Oh, but if you'd like to know up-to-date statistics on how many games that you have won and lost, I don't know how much you like. Do you like statistics? You seem like the kind of guy
I
who likes
do kind
statistics.
of, yeah.
So, I was talking about Hearth Arena earlier.
Right.
Let me toss this at you.
So is Hearth Arena, is there a cost to that, or is it just...
No, not that I'm aware of. I didn't pay
I
anything
know
for
they're
it.
doing donations here, but...
Yeah, but
I
I mean,
was-
everybody asks for donations.
Right.
Hearthstats.com is a service that's very similar to Hearth Arena. Hearth Arena specializes in helping you draft your arena deck. Hearthstats is really solid for constructed play. You tell it what your deck is and what cards are in it, and then whether you've won or lost against what kind of deck. And you can download their overlay app, the Hearthstone. It's called the Hearthstone Deck Tracker. And same thing, like you tell it what your deck is and what cards are in it, and it can create a overlay on your screen that has a list of all the cards that are in your deck, whether you've drawn them or not. And then on the other side of the screen, all the cards that your opponent has played. So you're in the middle of the game and you're like, shit, did he play both fireballs already? I don't remember if he played 2 fireballs. Am I setting myself to die? Then you look over and you're like, oh yeah, he played both fireballs. I am safe currently from fireballs. So then you can move forward. Like it tracks all that shit for you. It doesn't give you any information that you wouldn't already have if you wrote down every thing in every play. Like, it's not, strictly speaking,
Right.
I don't consider it to be cheating because it doesn't give you any new information. It just gives you information about like what you've already seen happen.
Right.
But it can be very valuable in, it tells you what the percentage chance is of drawing any particular card. So like at the bottom of it, it'll, like, if you have 10 cards left in your deck, it'll say 10% because there's a 1 in 10 shot that you're going to draw any of those cards on your next draw. If you like, if you're running a combo deck and you're like, shit, I need this card and this card and you look over and you're like, okay, well, those are the only 2 cards of, like, I have those 2 cards and 3 other ones in my deck still. So I'm like, it helps you keep track of that shit. Really, really awesome and useful.
Deal 100 damage to enemy heroes. I'm 69 out of 100.
So those quests can be completed in casual. And I think, they can be completed in arena. I think they can also be completed in Tavern Brawl, assuming it's a Tavern Brawl where you get to pick a class and build a deck or whatever. And also, on top of that, it doesn't require that you finish the game in order to get the achievement. So if you log in one day and it says, kill 20 minions and you're 19 out of 20, and you hop into a casual game, kill 1 minion and then concede, you get the quest.
That might have been what that other guy did, possibly, or something. Or he just, conceded right away for no reason.
The only thing I can think of would be he had to play a spell, but he played a spell, then played a minion, because there's a quest that says play X amount of spells.
Right.
And he played a spell, then he played a minion, then he passed to you, then you played, what, a Swamp Ooze? Then you passed to him,
Yeah.
and then he conceded.
I was actually placing the Swamp Ooze when he conceded.
Oh, okay. Then maybe, I don't know, maybe he recognized that his turn was bad and that he's like, you know what, screw it. It's rank 25. Nothing's going to hurt me if I leave.
Right.
Could very well have been what happened. I feel like I've rambled enough. It's probably about time to let you go. Do you have anything else that you wanted to cover real fast?
No, I'm good.
All right, man. We better call it a night
Thank
then
you.
so that we're not doing this all night long.
And it very well could. Should try and touch base maybe this weekend or something.
All right. Right on, man. Sounds like fun.